flare in the House of Assembly. New tonight on Our News Live at 7. The boat registration and water skiing bills spark fierce debate. This as opposition outcry leads to a shouting match among MPs. But first,
the Office of the Prime Minister is justifying the purchase of a brand new 2024 BMW car. But what are the reasons? We'll have the details coming up for you tonight on Our News.
Plus, the pool is ready. The 2024 Carifta Aquatics Games are good to go after the pool at Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center is fully restored. Then in Our News at 7:30, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force poised for action in gang-controlled Haiti. The mission chief tells us how the element of surprise plays into a wider strategy. Our News Live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. The Office of the Prime Minister addressing the recent purchase of a nearly $200,000 luxury vehicle. The office calling the hefty purchase justifiable. And that's not all. Joshua Williams is on the story.
On the defense, Acting Press Secretary Keishler Adderley justifying the purchase of a $192,000 2024 BMW Series 7 as she spoke to reporters this afternoon. This comes after an invoice from Automoile Omega Motors showed the purchase stamped and approved by the Ministry of Finance Revenue Section. When it comes to why the car was purchased, Adderley says the previous vehicle was simply outdated.
Let me hasten to say that the previous vehicle had lived out its time. That was purchased in 2011. So you can do the math and see how old that vehicle was. That was actually purchased at a cost, I understand, of $300,000.
As for what was wrong with the car,
it wasn't until that vehicle began to experience mechanical problems that consideration was given to the purchase of a new vehicle. That vehicle is expected to last for at least 10 years. That is the investment that is expected to be derived from the purchase of this vehicle.
Now, many questions have been raised as to whether or not the Prime Minister needs a new car, as some have witnessed him being transported in this vehicle.
Any right-thinking person would appreciate that the Office of the Prime Minister needs a vehicle. It is not the personal vehicle of the Prime Minister. It is purchased for the office. The object here is to obviously have a vehicle for the Office of the Prime Minister that has that will have the life, a 10-year span at least, and that is befitting of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Adderley also addressing rumors that the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance, David Davis, was reassigned following the purchase.
There is absolutely no truth to the assertion that the permanent secretary who was previously linked to this office was removed for anything to do with the purchase of the vehicle. That's absolutely false.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks, Josh. And tensions flaring in the House of Assembly this morning as members debated and passed the Boat Registration Amendment Bill 2024 and the Water Skiing and Motor Control Amendment Bill. But the opposition not happy after all their members were not allowed to contribute to the debate, resulting in a shouting match between the MPs. Megan Shepherd has this.
Leader of the opposition Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, calling events in Parliament today undemocratic.
The Speaker had an opportunity to show she's impartial, to demonstrate clearly that the executive does not control the legislature, and in this regard, on this day, failed that assignment.
He says with a relatively small contingent, each member of the opposition has a right to have their voice heard as they bring the issues of constituents to the public. Of the 5 members in the House, only 2 were allowed to contribute. Members of the opposition say it is disgraceful to deny members their time, particularly denying the leader and a deputy leader opportunities to speak.
How in God's name, for a parliament that in our estimation can meet more regularly to deal with urgent issues in our country, would this government shut down the parliament?
Only 3 hours were allotted for a debate on the 2 bills. Opposition members say this is far too little time. As the members stood on their feet and continued to shout their concerns, both bills were passed. Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, taking issue with the Speaker of the House.
A specific section that says if all of the matters have not been aired, if there is further debate, And in order to protect the rights of the minority, the Speaker should not allow the majority to dictate and to shut down the opposition.
Deputy Leader Shannon Dawn Cartwright adding that members had several concerns that needed to be presented. MP for Central Grand Bahama, Iram Lewis, says they will continue to stand when deemed necessary. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Megan. Now, that was just a snapshot of today's proceeding. If you want to see that story in its entirety, be sure and head over to ournews.bs or Our News Bahamas on Facebook. 263 illegal migrants have been successfully repatriated to Haiti, according to National Security Minister Wayne Monroe, who says the group consisting of 216 men, 44 females, and 3 children were taken by HMBS Lawrence to Port of Cape Haitian Wednesday morning. This latest exercise comes as concerns remain about the state of conditions on the ground, where gangs control significant portions of the nation's capital, Port-au-Prince. Monroe telling us that migrants were apprehended in multiple exercises recently and says the groups had to be transported to Anagua first.
Of the 107 migrants intercepted by the HMBS Kamalami over the weekend, and a number of migrants who were then at the detention center in New Providence, a total of 156 migrants in all were flown down to Inagua, Great Inagua.
Monroe, who was addressing this week's OPM press briefing, said all Bahamian military vessels involved are en route home and emphasized government's commitment to protecting our borders.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Bahamas Department of Immigration, are resolute in protecting the territorial integrity of this country, of apprehending irregular migrants, and of repatriating them back to their home country, wherever that may be.
The governor of Turks and Caicos Islands says the Northern Caribbean Security Summit taking place here in the Bahamas this week will handle more than just the Haiti crisis. The summit is in its 3rd year, the first having taken place in Turks and Caicos and the second in Miami, Florida. On Thursday and Friday, delegations from the Bahamas, the United States, Turks and Caicos Islands, and the United Kingdom will gather to discuss a number of issues threatening regional security. Governor is Delini Danielle Selvan Ratnam.
Transnational threats in the region are shared if you're looking at it from drugs, guns, human trafficking, and actually how that's underpinned by an organised crime. What we're really looking at from a multi-agency perspective is how do we dismantle, how do we interdict, and how do we disrupt? And in that, what are our joint operations? How do we effectively coordinate ourselves, share information, so that we do have a firm defence posture across each of our regions and territories?
The summit coming at a time when the crisis in Haiti has many in the region concerned about border protection, especially after thousands of prisoners were freed in a mass jailbreak in Port-au-Prince earlier this month. The governor tells us about her own delegation.
Part of my delegation, I have the Minister of Immigration and the Attorney General from the Turks and Caicos Islands. That's particularly because it is a national security focus for us. They're key members of the National Security Council in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And then supporting us, we then have key leads from the police, the regiment, border force, and our National Security Secretariat. A key part also of the Turks and Caicos Islands delegation are the leads from the UK. So within that, we have leads from the Ministry of Defence, Border Force, Policing, to also coordinate our efforts in respect of the UK support, given that national security is a reserve responsibility.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and happy Wednesday evening, everybody. Beautiful conditions around the islands, and we're starting to see some really nice conditions outside. 73 degrees, we'll call it mild and breezy. Your winds are out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Your feel-like temperature, very comfortable, 71. Temperatures around the islands right now, it's 70 in Freeport, 70 over in Marsh Harbour, Abaco. We pick up 73s. Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbour Key. Nicholstown, Andros, over in Governor's Harbour, you guys are 71. 74, Kemps Bay, 72s, Arthurstown, Cat Island, and Coburn Town, San Salvador. Georgetown and Deadman, Kings Key, you guys are 75. And into the Southeast Bahamas, 77 in Duncan Town, Ragged Island. 76s, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island. Delectable Bay, that's in Acklands. Abrahams Bay, also 76. Providenciales, Tricks and Caicos Islands, you guys are 79. And Matthew Town in Agua, you are the warm spot at 80 degrees. Satellite radar composite showing that frontal boundary that moves through the islands, now down near the Southeast Bahamas. Some clouds associated with that system still affecting the southeastern islands, even some isolated showers, Tricks and Caicos Islands, as well as in Agua. But high pressure is building across us. That's going to provide us with some rather nice conditions through tonight and into tomorrow, and possibly even into early Friday. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us to look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, after a lengthy hiatus, the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center pool ready for the 2024 Carifta Aquatics Games. And it's time to shatter the stereotypes. A local advocacy group calling on government to enhance lives ahead of Global Down Syndrome Awareness Observances. When Our News returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
The pool at Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center has been out of commission since July, but officials say it's now ready for competition and ready for the 2024 Carifta Aquatic Games. Sasha Lightborn was at the pool this morning and filed this report.
The pool is ready now.
That was a strong assertion from project manager Mr. Finley of SJK Engineering and Construction when I asked him directly whether the pool would be ready for Carifta competition come March 30th. The pool has been closed for renovation since July last year and been a hot topic dominating news headlines up to now, with some even questioning whether we would still be able to host the Carifta Aquatics Championships. Sports Minister Mario Boleg gave several assurances from July to now that the facilities at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center would be ready, even shunning the opposition in the House of Assembly 2 weeks ago, who questioned whether the work would be completed in time. Team Bahamas held their first practices last Saturday in the morning at St. Andrew's School and then in the evening at St. Anne's Anglican School. Finley shared the scope of works that's been done from July to now.
We refurbished both pools, the 50-meter and the 25-meter pool. We did upgrades on the mechanical room downstairs, all new equipment now, up-to-date equipment. We refurbished the whole building.
The project manager also had this message for the opposition, parents, and anyone who is concerned about the ongoing work.
They give the project a reliable company, SJK Engineering and Construction, who can take it away, and we work on and on, day by day. So I don't know why the parents and the opposition is up in arms. But I invite the opposition to come see for themselves. They don't have to talk, they can come see. Quality work.
Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, thanks, Sasha. And we are less than 24 hours away from global observances of Down Syndrome Day. But this year, it's not just about raising awareness and celebrating the abilities of individuals with Down syndrome. It's also about breaking stereotypes. And that's the theme of this year's global campaign. This morning, a local advocacy group led by a passionate leader gathered outside the House of Assembly calling on government to help enhance their lives.
We are bringing awareness because we need a building for them. They are stuck at home, and we want to work with them as soon as they're born to stimulate them, to make them the best that they can be in our society. Some of them can go out to work if they're trained properly. My son goes to work, so we know it's possible.
Down syndrome is a genetic condition where a person is born with an extra copy of chromosome 21. This means they have a total of 47 chromosomes instead of 46 and can affect how their brain and body develop. March 21st being deemed Down Syndrome Day, the association asking everyone to wear colorful socks to mark the occasion and foster inclusivity. Here again is Bahamas Down Syndrome Association President Betty Taylor.
For you to come out and meet them and realize there's no difference. And if you get to know them, you would be stronger. You would be a better person for getting to know a person with a disability. And this year our theme is end the stereotype. Because most people, when they look at someone with a disability, they think of them as crazy or retarded. But if you get to know them, you would be shocked.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a team to choose Haiti's next leader takes shape. Plus, a former Mississippi officer gets 17 and a half years for racist torture. And the Princess of Wales' medical records reportedly breached. The incident now under investigation. The story when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Caribbean leaders confirmed Tuesday that barring one group, All political factions have submitted nominees for Haiti's Transitional Presidential Council, tasked with selecting an interim prime minister amidst rampant gang violence. The council, initially 9 members, now stands at 8 as the Petit Dessalines party declined a seat. Former Prime Minister Ariel Henry's allies, known as the December 21st Group, finally submitted a nominee to CARICOM after internal disputes over candidates. Guyanese President and CARICOM Chairman Dr. Ifran Ali stressed the urgency for progress, highlighting ongoing meetings to establish the council. A third former Mississippi Sheriff's Deputy, Daniel Opdyke, was sentenced Wednesday to 17.5 years in prison for his role in the racist torture of 2 black men by a group of white officers dubbed the Goon Squad. The 28-year-old tearfully addressed the court expressing remorse for his actions, but U.S. District Judge Tom Lee emphasized his active participation in the brutal attack. Last year, all 6 former officers pleaded guilty to the assault. Hunter Elward and Jeffrey Middleton also received prison terms of nearly 20 years and 17.5 years respectively on Tuesday. The terror began with a racist call for violence in January 2023. Prosecutors detailed the heinous acts perpetrated against the victims, including mock executions and sexual assault. Britain's data watchdog is investigating allegations that staff at the hospital where Kate, Princess of Wales, underwent surgery had attempted to access her private health records. The Information Commissioner's Office confirmed it is assessing the breach report, prompted by claims that a member of staff at the London clinic tried to access Kate's medical notes. Kensington Palace stated it's a matter for the hospital. The 42-year-old royal had surgery for a non-cancerous condition during her 2-week stay. The London clinic has not responded to requests for comment. And Delta Airlines pilot Lawrence Russell Jr. was sentenced to 10 months in prison for reporting for duty at Scotland's Edinburgh airport while drunk. The 63-year-old American citizen was found with 2 bottles of Jägermeister, 1 half full, in his bag before piloting a flight to New York's JFK airport. The flight was canceled and Russell lost his job. The court noted his previous alcohol-related incidents and successful completion of a treatment program. He pleaded guilty, leading to a reduced sentence. Still to come in our news today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was March 20th. Then in our news at 7:30, the Department of Social Services offers assistance as demolition of shantytowns in Eleuthera commences. But officials say aid will be limited to Bahamian or permanent residents only. Plus, the crisis in Haiti comes back into focus in an Our News exclusive with the governor of TCI, who talks border security and international partnerships. When Our News returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Welcome back. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was March 20th. Take a look.
In 1782, Andrew DeVoe of South Carolina, who later settled in Port Howe, Cat Island, was declared to be an obnoxious person under the Confiscation Act passed on the same day by the South Carolina legislature. The Historical Society notes the reason for his declaration was his leading a raiding party of the Tories against the Whigs and destroying their property. Then, in 1924, Randall Francis Fox was born in Nassau. He was a lawyer, politician, labor and civil rights leader, author, and founder of the Labor Party in the Bahamas. The Historical Society notes Fox is credited for playing a significant role in some key moments in the labor, political, and social movements in the country, including the taxicab union strike of 1957, the 1958 Bahamas general strike, the right of women to vote, and majority rule. He was also one of the central figures in the 1967 election, along with Alvin Brennan, who helped to break a tie between the United Bahamian Party, UBP, and the Progressive Liberal Party, PLP, on January 10th. This led to Lyndon Pinling becoming the first black premier of the Bahamas and the first black government for the colony. Fox became Minister of Labor in the newly formed administration. Labor Day in the Bahamas was named the Sir Randall Fox Labor Day in honor of his contributions to fighting for workers' rights in the country back in 2013. Fox died on June 15, 2000. He was 76.
All right, to watch that historical recap again and for all of today's top stories, remember you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia, tomorrow is Down Syndrome Day. It's being observed globally. There's a Rock Your Socks event.
And I have my socks ready.
Do you have your socks?
I have my socks ready, so stay tuned tomorrow.
Good stuff.
Thanks so much, Ken. Well, coming up, social services offers assistance as demolitions of shantytowns in Eleuthera commences. Plus, the crisis in Haiti comes back into focus. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, conditions in Haiti seems to be worsening. Other nations are in high alert. Tonight, in an exclusive interview with Our News, the Turks and Caicos governor reveals they've seen an uptick in activity in their waters. We have the details coming up. Plus, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers getting prepared in the event they are deployed to Haiti as the crisis continues in that Caribbean nation. Our Berthany McDermott has the story. Also, 2 bills passed in the House of Assembly this afternoon. Hear how the country's maritime sector will be impacted. And later, looking for a unique experience in Grand Bahama this weekend? Well, you may find it at the Regency Theater. This as a local organization is preparing to host a Junkanoo Jazz concert. The full story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Last week, the principal, Mr. Bethel, reached out to us and asked for a total of 5 laptops after further investigation that he needed more to complete the computer lab. And now we're here today to donate the full 25 laptops.
We realize in the business of education, we need partners. And companies like Jarrell Investment have proven themselves.
They are so excited about this to get the laptops.
On the road. But isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. there's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
At the gateway to the Americas, on the picturesque island of Grand Bahama, a pioneering initiative is taking shape. Lucaya Solar Power Limited presents the $15 million Lucaya.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force is preparing to put boots on the ground in Haiti should the United Nations call for a multinational force. Our Berthany McDermott takes a look at the internal workings of the force now in standby mode.
Should they be needed, officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force stand ready to support a multinational force in Haiti, and they have the experience necessary. Officer in charge of deployments, Captain Frederick Brown, points to the challenges in Haiti dating back to the 90s.
Almost every 10 years, there seems to be some kind of conflict there. In 2004, 2005, we had conflicts, and now, again, just about 2-3 years ago, you have this insurgency of gangs.
The RBDF has a readiness committee whose job it is to ensure the force remains properly trained and resourced should they need to be deployed.
You have an insurgency there, and that is causing a lot of problems. It's disrupting the economy, it's disrupting movement within that environment. And so obviously the danger level or the risk level is very high.
Conditions in Haiti have worsened in recent months, with gangs seizing control of the streets in fierce opposition to President Ariel Henry, who has since resigned. CARICOM announced a transitional government to lead the process of electing a new government. Senior Commander William Stirrup, who heads operations, explains, should the need arise, the maritime unit will focus on the protection of our southern borders.
If ordered to go into Haiti, we will conduct a rotation of 2 of our major vessels, as well as a support vessel, as well as aerial and maybe even unmanned support.
Now, these RBDF officers tell us they've been monitoring the situation on the ground in Haiti for quite some time. They explained what went into the preparation process.
Based on the intelligence, we have to ensure that the men are trained, that information is passed to the commanding officers, and we're properly resourced with equipment.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much, Berthany. Well, the world has watched the worsening situation in Haiti, but few have been closer to the crisis than the British overseas territory of the Turks and Caicos Islands. In an exclusive interview, our Marlena Leonard sits down with their governor, who talks about border security and international partnerships.
With the crisis in Haiti seemingly worsening daily, Governor of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Delini Daniel Selvratnam, says the British overseas territory is already seeing an uptick in activity in their waters.
It is of concern. We are seeing an increase in respect of fast boats and sloops that have been coming in. We do have effective capability in respect of how we're dealing with that, but that's part of the work that we are also dealing with the Bahamas, with the US, in terms of actually how do we appropriately risk profile, how do we interdict, and how do we then ensure the secure management of who may then land.
On March 14th, former British Prime Minister David Cameron, now British Foreign Secretary, announced a new security package to support the Turks and Caicos Islands in light of the crisis in Haiti, promising £4.25 million worth of border security and equipment this year, with an additional £3 million slated for 2025.
It's more than just the deployment of assets. It really is looking at strategically how do we build our defence capability. So it's really looking at it from a where are we in respect of aerial surveillance, what does that look like from a marine interdiction capability, and then from a land patrol internal security perspective, how do we drive that? So what we're looking at is not just trying to deploy sort of quick fixes of just bits of assets, but actually strategically how do we underpin and drive our capability and resilience in dealing with this threat.
This week, the third Northern Caribbean Security Summit takes place here in the Bahamas. The governor calling the summit timely in light of the collapse of law and order in Haiti.
And it's really an opportunity for both leaders from a strategic perspective, governors, ministers, as well as operational leads across our enforcement agencies to get together to look at what that multi-agency, full-force defence posture should be.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Well, two bills debated and passed in the House of Assembly, the Boat Registration Amendment Bill 2024 and the Water Skiing and Motor Control Amendment Bill 2024. According to Minister of Energy and Transport JoBeth Colby-Davis, the Bahamas is a leader in the maritime industry. She added the bill provides for additional inspection requirements and insurance, in addition to strengthening the offences provisions and provide for new registration and inspection fees.
The bill will see an amendment to Section 6 of the Principal Act requiring every boat before being registered under the Act to be submitted for inspection to the New Providence Port Authority, and that the Port Authority be provided with record of crew training, surveys conducted in the last 12 months, history of dry docking, and boat maintenance records. Under the amended Act, Madam Speaker, every owner or operator of a boat registered to ply or for hire in the waters of the Bahamas shall procure and maintain a comprehensive insurance policy from a company licensed under the Insurance Act to carry on insurance in the business.
Well, temperatures cooling down in the capital on this Wednesday, but get prepared for some not so nice weather conditions this weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Italia. Welcome, everybody, for a quick check on conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 73 degrees, breezy and mild, we'll call it. Your winds are out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, and your field strike temperature is at 71. Satellite radar composite showing a frontal boundary down near the southeast Bahamas. Some clouds associated with that front, as well as some isolated showers affecting the Turks and Caicos Islands, as well as Inagua. But that front will continue to sag towards the southeast. High pressures building across the area. That's going to provide us with some rather nice conditions tonight through tomorrow. That's your quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. So look at the extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, the Department of Social Services on the ground in Eleuthera to offer assistance as demolition is set to begin on shanty towns. And Grand Bahamians get ready for a Junkanoo Jazz concert slated for this weekend. We'll tell you all about it when Our News returns.
On the picturesque island of Grand Bahama, a pioneering initiative is taking shape. Lucaya Solar Power Limited presents the $15 million Lucaya Solar Power Project, the first of its kind in the Bahamas' energy landscape. The state-of-the-art solar farm on the Fairfield and Devon sites spans just over 30 acres, and once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate over 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. The Lucaya Solar Project is a pivotal step towards diversifying the country's energy sources and significantly reducing dependency on fossil fuels. It's more than just a project. It's a commitment to a greener, more sustainable future. Lucaya Solar Power Limited, powered by INTI, powering your world, powering your future.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
What we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Embrace technology and
The Department of Social Services is on the ground in Eleuthera as the process of demolition of shanty towns begin. Assistant Director in the Department of Social Services, Shirley Kelly, clarifying assistance offered to shantytown residents is only for those who are Bahamian or permanent residents.
A number of persons to be interviewed would have a work permit. So automatically they would not qualify to get any ongoing assistance from us. But the persons that we have interviewed, there were a number of them that we did interview would have come into my office and got assessed. Some of them for temporary shelters and other assistance like grant or light assistance. But the persons, especially those from temporary shelter, they did not take advantage of the shelters as we would have made available to them.
As it stands now, Kelly says 5 families are at the shelter in New Providence, adding Abaco families have requested assistance as well. It comes while officials were on the ground at the shanty towns in Eleuthera. Building Control Officer Craig Delancey telling Our News over 140 notices were posted on Tuesday. Delancey revealed some of the homes and electrical connections, adding they were built similar to homes assessed in Cool Acres in New Providence.
We came back today. The weather was a bit inclement earlier this morning, and so now we were able to come back out and we were able to finish up numbering the houses in Blackwood. And we came up with a total of 213 houses so far. Well, we were over in Spanish Wells, Russell Island, where we found most of the unregulated structures. And over there, we came across a total of about 27 houses there.
All right, now turning to Grand Bahama. Often it's been said that there's not much entertainment or things to do on that northern island, but a local organization is trying to change that narrative. A Junkanoo Jazz concert is set for this weekend at the Regency Theater. The concert will feature Forces of Nature, a Junkanoo Jazz fusion band. Band leader Jen Sweeting says it's all about creatives getting an opportunity to showcase their talent.
We have the wonderful guest artists that we're going to be featuring from here in Freeport, and also we have some talented horn players coming in from Nassau. Many of them are going to be sharing their compositions, and as well as my own compositions and those of my band. I highly encourage the community to come out and check it out, because really the point of the event is to create this opportunity and this platform for Bahamian artists and specifically composers to be able to showcase their music and tell their stories through their music, because we have so many talented writers and these are the people who create the music, and so that's what the event is celebrating and highlighting. So it'll be a wonderful experience of culture and arts and food and music and drinks, and it'll be a great time.
The event on Saturday will begin at 6 p.m. These artists say they are excited to take part.
Being the youngest in the group, there's not many opportunities for young Bahamians to actually expose their talent and their voices and their gifts. And so I'm just happy to be a part of this and be a representative of the youth talent we have here in the Bahamas.
So I'm very excited to sing some of their original pieces and to perform one of my own and to support some of the other featured singers as well with background vocals.
I think that whoever comes is going to be blown away. It's going to be dramatic, it's going to be heartfelt, and I am looking forward to it. It's going to be a beautiful evening.
Coming up in sports, we take a look at Bahamas basketball's path towards Olympic qualification, and World Relays Bahamas gets a new title sponsor.
Nice weather conditions outside the Our News studios this evening, but the question is, how long will it last? Craig is back with your extended weather forecast when Our News continues. Stay with us.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer service that we pride ourselves on.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
This is Our News. Welcome back. National team standout Eric Gordon discusses the future of Bahamian basketball, and a title sponsor comes on board for World Relays Bahamas. Here now with Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors is Ronaldo Dorset and John Mark Nutt. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Natalia, and welcome to Our Sports presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. John Mark is on assignment in Arizona. Let's do show. The Olympic basketball draw was held Tuesday, and while we're this close to qualification with one tournament left to go, the Bahamas now has an idea of what they'll face if they do get to Paris. Should the Bahamas go on to win the final qualifying tournament in Spain, they will advance to the Olympics and will be placed in Group A alongside Australia, Canada, and the winner of the other qualifying tournament in Greece. That group includes Slovenia, New Zealand, Croatia, Egypt, Greece, or the Dominican Republic. By virtue of winning the pre-qualifying tournament last August in Argentina, the Bahamas advanced to one of the 4 final Olympic qualifiers. The Bahamas will compete July 2nd to 7 in Valencia, Spain in Group B against Finland, Finland, and Poland. Group A includes Lebanon, Angola, and Spain. Only the winner in each of the 4 final qualifying tournaments will advance to the Olympics. The men's Olympic event begins July 2nd in Lille, France, and concludes August 10th in Paris. While we're talking Olympic basketball qualification, there's no better people to hear from than the ones we'll need to get us there. Let's go over to John Mark in Arizona.
Thanks, Ronaldo. We were able to catch up with Eric Gordon to discuss the path about Paris.
One of the heroes from the pre-Olympic qualifiers in Argentina last August, Eric Gordon is looking forward to the prospects for Team Bahamas this summer.
We just got to continue building chemistry, like I said, and we're going to live up to the expectation of playing at a high level. And, like I said, I want to go to the Olympics, so I'm going to do whatever it takes, and I'm going to make sure this team does.
Gordon and his Phoenix Suns will face Buddy Hield and the Philadelphia 76ers tonight at the Footprint Center. He added, it's always a special moment when Bahamians can share the court at the highest level.
It's always good to, for everybody to start getting together, coordinate, and see that Bahamas basketball is on the rise, and start getting these young kids to really buy into what we're doing.
Staying in Arizona, from the basketball court to the baseball diamond, Sebastian Walcart's stardom continues. Texas Rangers shortstop Sebastian Walcart has been a standout on the backfields in inter-squad games and also getting his opportunities with the big leaguers in spring training. Walcart was involved in some late-game theatrics of the Rangers' 7-7 tie with the Oakland A's on Tuesday. He entered the game pitch running in the 6th inning and stayed in defensively for the remainder of the game. He drew a walk in his first at-bat and eventually scored on a throwing error. Walcart drew another walk in the 9th and stole second. He attempted to score on Justin Folkew's single but was thrown out at home plate on a bang-bang play. We'll have more from the number 3 ranked prospect in the Rangers pipeline this week as the spring training journey continues.
The World Relays makes its return to the Bahamas this spring, and a new title sponsor came on board to support the initiative. The local organizing committee announced that BTC came on board as a title sponsor with a commitment valued at $300,000.
Today feels like a championship day for the Bahamas, as well as our partner with BTC, which ensures that we will never forget the experience of the World Relays.
That'll do it for Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. For John Mark Nutt on assignment in Arizona, I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, cooler temperatures this evening as we move closer to the weekend. Greg is back with more weather details when our news continues.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Welcome back to our news. Temperatures cooling down in the capital as we approach the midweek mark, but we can expect some severe weather conditions this weekend. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg.
Thanks again, Natalia. Welcome back, everybody, for our final check on weather. We are still under the regime of a high-pressure system that's building across our area. That's displacing a frontal boundary now down near the southeast Bahamas, some cloud cover as well as some isolated showers associated with that system. We'll continue to slide towards the south and east. That high-pressure system will eventually move out towards the Atlantic, and we are watching a low-pressure system expected to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. This system is actually trying to get started across the Texas area. That low-pressure system, the Department of Meteorology has put out a weather statement, special weather statement for that. We're expecting some very strong winds as well as some really strong rainfall amounts across the portions of the Bahamas, the northwest and central parts of the Bahamas, expecting rainfall amounts up to 4 to 6 inches and some isolated amounts even higher than that. We'll tell you more about that later on in our updated forecast through the week. Future forecast showing the moisture associated with that front boundary just waning its way out. High pressure system in charge. Some upper level should be moving across us through Thursday, and then by Friday here comes that low pressure system with quite a bit of rainfall expected, and as I mentioned, that's going to provide us with some significant rainfall across portions of the Bahamas through the weekend. Boating conditions, small craft use caution. The swells are still out there. Winds will be northeast to east, 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet, but up to 6 feet in some swells. Low tide will be at 11:59 tonight. The high tide takes place at 6:19 tomorrow morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, Thursday and Friday looks pretty nice, but that low pressure system and the unsettled weather will be moving across us late Friday and into Saturday. So we're looking at quite a bit of rainfall, and once again, we'll tell you more about that tomorrow night as we get an update on the system developing. And then once again, beautiful weather expected for the early part of next week once that system gets out of here. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night and stay safe, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg, and thank you for joining us for our news tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.